In December, Microsoft announced the Xbox Series X and its controller. And today, well, we need to talk. Alright everyone, so today we're going to be talking about the Xbox Series X controller because I see things online, patterns and stuff, and it always culminates to me realising people like to string together narratives for no reason. Actually, let me take that back. It's not for no reason. It's because people like to take anything and stretch it into a negative when it comes to anything Xbox specific. So, Microsoft announced the Xbox Series X and its controller in December 2019. And no one really mentioned anything about the controller. It's going to have a share button now, it's going to continue having the rumble triggers, it has a textured grip on the triggers, it has matte shoulder buttons now, and the top parts tapered in a bit for smaller hands to be, more comfortable and stuff. So, I put out a tweet maybe 2 weeks ago saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And that's the rule for life. If something doesn't need changing, you don't change it. Well, in December, nobody was calling the Xbox Series X a last-gen controller. No one was calling it boring, but it was the second PlayStation announced their controller. People were like, wait a minute. They've actually changed things a lot because they needed to. You see, people have usually always said that the Xbox controller is more comfortable. Because it is. And here's the thing. Let's talk about gimmicks. Because I'm seeing this all over the place. People are praising the PlayStation controller. And the thing is, the new controller looks comfortable. But here's the thing. Everything on that controller is taken from something else. And back then, when everything else got those features, people called them gimmicks. People controlled the haptic triggers on an Xbox One controller gimmicks. Because that's what those controller triggers do. Haptic feedback. People called the speaker on the Wii remote a gimmick. People called gyro aiming on the 3DS a gimmick. People called the touchpad on the Ouya controller a gimmick. Notice a pattern? Now here's the thing. Microsoft put on the share button on the Xbox controller because people were asking for it. I would see people all the time ask, hey, can we put a share button on the controller? Because guess what? That's handy. But guess what? You could share things easy to social media on the Wii U tablet. So all these things started somewhere else. It's just because PlayStation got these features on their controller. Everyone's like, oh, well, Xbox has a last-gen controller. And every single person that said that online are fundamentally false. Microsoft didn't need to change things for their controller. When they were invested in the Xbox One controller, they spent hundreds of millions of dollars doing research into the controller. They tried putting a speaker on, they tried putting a screen on, but it all culminates to why have it there if it's not going to get used. And as we're saying, this current generation, features on controllers that aren't fundamental never really get used. Even Xbox One rumble triggers, which are fantastic, don't get used much. They fundamentally feel way different and better in Forza games. And I think earlier FPS games like Battlefield 4 and Halo 5 use them. They're great. And here's the thing. I hope PlayStation 5 uses these really well because this is the thing. More developers will use both triggers. It's just that we have more information about the Xbox at the minute and people are trying to stretch narratives for no reason other than to bash Xbox when Microsoft is in a better position than they've been in years. They're confident like they've never been before. The fact of the matter is that both companies are in great positions. There's many games in development. Fans on either console will be happy. Just because one controller changed greatly and one changed a little bit doesn't mean anything. It just means that Microsoft, they knew they had a good controller. They just added a share button because that's the only thing people asked for. So, what I'm saying is, people need to stop stretching narratives just to bash Xbox because really, it's 2020. There's an outbreak going on and people are arguing about controllers online. Like, come on. Anyway, if you enjoyed today's video, please hit like and subscribe, share it on social media, it helps the channel out. And I have many more projects coming soon and a lot more Xbox Series X related stuff coming. But I just want to say that everyone be safe out there, because, you know, the situation the world's in at the minute isn't exactly good, and I'm not going to really bring this up every time. I just want to mention people should be safe, because, you know, it's a horrible thing out there, and I don't want anyone to get it. And anyway, everyone, take care. I'm out. Peace.